Hello everyone, this is Manjula Athani, HOD of Computer Department at UNIT1PART2 College of Diploma Engineering and Technology. As you remember, we were started with the Advanced Java Programming is a subject of CO and IF department. First video is uploaded with the hierarchy of AWT controls and AWT components. Kindly watch that video and come to know us. In this slide, we will see the creation of the frame. In Java, frame is a standard graphical window. The frame can be displayed using the frame class. The frame class has standard, minimize and maximize and close buttons. The syntax of the frames are: the first frame constructor creates the frame without the title of the frame, and second constructor creates the frame with the title name. Here frame demo is a what name of the frame. So it is clear. In this slide, we will see various methods of the frame class. The first method, that is set resizable, sets the frame to be resizable. If it is true, you can change the size of the frame. Otherwise, if it is false, you cannot change the size of the frame. And second method is set title, sets the title of the frame. And third, set size, sets the width and height of the frame. And get title, that obtains the title of the frame. Here whatever you are using, that set title, set the title, and get title, you want to retrieve the title name, title of the frame, you can use this get title method. And next method is set visible, boolean visible, sets the frame visible or not. If it is true, the frame is visible. If it is false, the frame is invisible. I think it is clear. In this slide, we will see how to create the frame. There are two ways to create the frame. One is by extend frame class and other is using instance of the frame class. Here we will see that how to create the frame by extends frame. Here class frame demo is the name of the frame, extends frame. And then public static void main string args. And what is the user defined frame name? Frame demo is the user defined frame name. So we have to create the object of the frame demo. So that's why you are using frame demo. Fr is the object of the frame. And new frame demo, once you create the object of the frame, you have to set the size, that is width and height of the frame. Here 300 300 means 300 pixels, width and 300 pixels, height frame is created. And then next step is what? You have to make that frame visible, that is set visible true. Unless if you are not making set visible true, you cannot see the frame. Second way, by using the instance of the frame class. And here class frame demo public static void main, we are directly creating the object of the frame and set size and set visible true. Read only text, user cannot change the text. Labels are the passive components. So in the next third chapter we will study that what is active component and the passive components. Here only how to create the labels and how to add these labels in either frame or the applet. The syntax of the control is label followed by the label name, that is string yes, you have to pass it. And second constructor is label string yes and integer style. So label name and the style means it is a constant variables. You can place the label either label dot left, right and centers, and these are the constants used for the style of the label. I think you must be clear. So next example, in the next slide we will see how to create the label. This one. See, class name, use label, and we are adding the label in the frame. frame FR equal to new frame. What is the label of the frame? Label example. Here is coming frame. And then we are setting this frame as the set size 400 and 200 pixels. And after that you have to set the layout of the frame. So next topic we will see that the layout, that is there are the 5 layouts are there. We will see that how to use. So here you have to set the layout, that is new flow layout, and in that layout we will arrange the create the label object, that is label L1 equal to new label. What is the string variable label name? First label, it is the label created. And second label L2 equal to new label second label, string variable you are passing here, that is second label is created. Once you created the object of the components, you have to add in the frame, that is which is the object of the frame? FR. So FR dot add, what is the object? L1. And which how many objects you are created? Two objects, two label objects are there. That two label object you are supposed to add in the frame object. Is it clear? See that. First layer and the second layer. Next, buttons. Second component is what? Buttons. Buttons are sometimes called the push buttons. This component contains the label, and when it is pressed, it generates the events. What is the syntax of this control? Button and button for parameter is string S, you are supposed to pass it. See that what is the class name? Use button and frame new button, that is, and then for this frame you have to set the size, and after that you have to make it as set visible true, and layout you have to set it, that is new flow layout. And button B1 equal to new button, which is the button. What is the button name? Click here. So this button we are created, that name you are supposed to pass in this button, and after creating this button you have to add in the frame, that is FR, which is the object of the frame? FR is the object of the frame. So FR dot add, what is the object of the button? B1. I think it is clear, all of you. Next control is what? Checkbox. Checkbox is basically the small box which can be ticked or not ticked. In Java, we can select particular item using checkbox control. This control appears a small box along with a label. Label tells us the name of the item to be selected. The syntax of the checkbox is checkbox followed by the checkbox name, where label denotes the label associated with the checkbox. To get the state of the checkbox, getState method is used. Example, we will see that frame. This program is for displaying the checkbox. This is the, here it is coming. And set size, layout, and the set visible true. Here we are creating a 3 checkbox, that is candy, ice cream, and juice. These are what? String names, the checkbox names. I think you must be clear in this. It is visible in this output. See, candy, ice cream, and what? Juice. And after creating this checkbox, which is the object? Box 1, box 2, box 3. These objects you are supposed to add in the frame. So I think you must be understood this one. In the next video, we will see the next component. Here we will see that the next AWT control, that is scroll bar. Scroll bar can be represented by the sliders. There are two types of scroll bars. One is horizontal scroll bar and other is vertical scroll bar. In this below example, we will see that how to create these scroll bars. Here the class use scroll bars is the class name, and after that you are using this main method, and we are creating the frame object fr with the frame title. This program has a scroll bar. See there, it is the title of the frame. And after that you are creating the object of the scroll bar. There are horizontal two scroll bars are there. One is horizontal scroll bar, that is scroll bar, and H selector is the object of the scroll bar. A new scroll bar, here you have to mention the style, that is orientation. Scroll bar dot horizontal and scroll bar dot vertical. Scroll bar V selector equals new scroll bar, that is scroll bar dot vertical. Here to mention the orientation. And once you created the object of the scroll bar, you have to set the layout. Either you can set the layout size, make visible below the frame object, then also okay. And after this, creating the scroll bar object, you are setting the size and make visible true, then also it is okay. And see that you are to supposed to set the layout and set the size and make that frame visible. And then you have to add the two scroll bars to the frame. Here H selector is the object of the scroll bars and V selector is a vertical scroll bar object. You are adding both these scroll bars to the frame. I think it is clear. In this slide, we will see the AWT control, that is text field. The object of the text field class is the text component that allows the editing of single line text. It inherits the text component class. The constructor is text field int n, where n is the total number of characters in the string. And second control is text area. The text area control is used to handle multi-line text. The syntax is text area int n comma int m, where n is the number of lines and m is the number of characters. Is it clear? Where text field is used for single line text and text area is used for multi-line text. In this slide, we will go through an example of text field. Here we are using the class use class. Text field is a class name, and in this example we are creating the object of the frame, that is fr is the object of the frame, and new frame AWT counter is the title of the frame. See here. And once you created the frame, you have to set the size and set the layout and make set visible true. I already told that until unless you are not making set visible true, the frame is not visible. Once you have created the frame, next step is what? You are supposed to create the components you want to place in the frame. So here label L1 equals new label, and what is the name of the label? Counter. So here label object is created, and text field T1 equals new text field. Here we are created the text field, and button B1 new button. But what is the name of the button here? Count is there. So it is the what? Button. Once you have created the object of the component, you are supposed to add to the frame. That's why you are adding fr dot add L1. It is the object of label component. And then fr dot T1 and fr dot B1. So you are adding all the components here. I think it is clear. In this slide, we will see the AWT control text area. I already told that text area control provides a multi-line editor area. The user can type here as much as he wants. When the text in the text area becomes larger than the viewable area, this is the viewable area. Is it clear? When the text in the text area become larger than the viewable area, the scroll bar is automatically appears. Here the scroll bars, one is vertical scroll bar and other is horizontal scroll bar appears which helps to scroll the text up and down. Vertical scroll bar helps to scroll the text up and down, and horizontal scroll bar helps the text to scroll the text right and left. The syntax is text area int n comma int m, where n is the number of lines and m is the number of characters. See how to create the object of the text area. Text area object name. Here input 1 is the object name, new text area, and you have to provide the number of lines and number of characters you are supposed to add in this text area. Once you create the object of the text area, you have to add it into the frame. I think it is cleared. In this slide, we will see the AWT control list. List is a collection of many items. The object of the list class represents the list of text items. By the help of the list, user can choose either one item or multiple items. It inherits the components class. Here, constructors of the list are there. The first constructor is a default constructor, and second specifies the number of rows to be visible in the list. Here I have to mention the row numbers, that is that many items are visible in the list. The third constructor specifies whether the multiple selection can be made. If you are making it is true, then you can select the multiple items in the list. If it is false, then only one item is selected from the list. So next is we are using the method, that is add item, and you have to mention the item name, that is add item at the end. And next method is there, add item string item name, and you have to specify the index of the index, that is where to add the items. We will see in the example how these methods are using. In this slide, we will go through an example of list. In the following program, we have created the frame object named as FR. Here, the object name of the frame is FR. And once you created the frame, you have to make the size of the frame and set the layout for the frame and make that set visible true. And after that, you are creating the object of the list. Here list L1 equals new list 5. Then L1 dot add item, item 1. These are the items that is added to the list. And L1 dot add item 2. Like these 5 items are added in the list, and after adding the items to the list, you are supposed to add that list to the frame, that is fr dot add L1. If in this constructor, if you are using list L1 equals new list 5 comma true, means only 5 items are visible. If you are making 4 comma true, then 4 items will be visible. I think it is cleared.